Hey y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. I've got a lot to say today. The God complex white men in America have when it comes to, well, anything really. Playing with people's actual lives, whether or not they have breath in their lungs, is truly mind-boggling. You witnessed this phenomenon when just yesterday, Governor Stitt of Oklahoma waited until just 2 hours before Julius Jones was set to be executed to commute his sentence. After ignoring the recommendations the Pardon and Parole Board have been making since September of this year, and after waiting until Julius himself went through all the steps to prepare for his execution. Can you imagine how terrifying that was for him? Only for him to be spared at the last minute? And for why? So somebody can consider you a benevolent king? This is not Game of Thrones, my boy. Then when there is overwhelming evidence that this man is innocent, you want to limit your grace to only exchanging his death sentence for life in prison with no possibility of parole? For why? Hey, only a coward would feel the need to hoard power like that. You blacks are never satisfied. Isn't this what you wanted? No, Spencer. We wanted him free. And no, we're not satisfied with chitlins anymore when there's pork chops on the table. You've been witnessing this God complex the last couple weeks as Judge Bruce Schroeder has coddled Kyle Rittenhouse, allowing him to pick his jurors' names out of hats, removing Negroes from the jury, disallowing the use of the word victims to describe the people this boy shot. It's called racism, Judge, not sparing a young white boy's feelings. Well, it's kind of the same. You witnessed it last year when Kyle himself, the God complex, brought his ass across state lines to involve himself in a situation that had nothing to do with him. And I just want to pause right here to let people know that we do not care about Kyle's tears. His cries were a performative display of infantilism, of adolescence, to try to convince the judge and the jury that he was just a boy who made a mistake. We do not care because he was put in this position, because he was empowered by the rhetoric some adult in his life instilled in him to make him think he could go play vigilante in the name of defending America. Get out of here! You saw the God complex when Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and William Bryan Jr. tracked down Ahmaud Arbery and decided that day was his day to die. And while we're here, can you please say their names and stop calling it the Ahmaud Arbery trial, because Ahmaud Arbery is not on trial here. I know that's right. Still not convinced? You saw the God complex when you learned about black codes and Jim Crow. When white people conflated the actual law with their hierarchical needs, immoral belief system, and masochistic need to commit violence. Because playing God for them is not just deciding if and when we will live or die, but also how and when we move in spaces they desire to have control of. And this is precisely why it is so important for critical race theory to be taught in schools. Because for hundreds of years, we've been shoveling white boys through the school to God complex pipeline. Come on, somebody! If you keep teaching kids about manifest destiny without context, westward expansion without context, the gold rush without the context of all the people displaced and murdered, trampled over and discarded to get there, you will keep producing white boys that think they can do the same thing without consequence. See, the lives of the white men we were forced to learn about, told were most important to learn about so that we could pass the standardized test. Those people were not heroes, but we were taught that they were. And that's the problem, because heroes think they are indestructible and infallible. Either that, or they think the damage that they cause is excusable in comparison to the greater good that they provide. And therefore, they know no accountability. Says every superhero movie ever. Trigger warning, sexual assault. Just like the 20-year-old boy who just got sentenced to probation after raping 4 teenage girls.